history of aviation is a fascinating journey that has revolutionized the way we travel, connect, and explore our world. From the first powered flight by the Wright brothers in 1903 to the advanced aircraft and space exploration of today, aviation has come a long way. Understanding the history is crucial for everyone involved in aviation. But this is especially true for mechanics, as it provides valuable insights into the evolution of aircraft design, technology, and the safety practices. Aviation heritage encompasses not only the technological advancement, but also the human stories and achievements that have shaped this industry. It's a testament to the perseverance of innovation and collaboration of countless individuals and organizations over the years. By studying this heritage, aviation professionals gain a deeper appreciation for the challenges overcome, the milestones achieved, which can inspire them in their own work. For mechanics, in particular, knowledge of aviation history is essential. As aircraft have evolved, so too have the systems, components, and maintenance procedures. By understanding how aircraft have developed over time, mechanics can better comprehend the intricacies of modern aircraft and troubleshoot issues more effectively. Additionally, familiarity with the historical context of aviation helps mechanics appreciate the importance of adherence to maintenance standards and regulations, which are built upon lessons learned from past incidences and accidents. As aircraft designs become more sophisticated, driven by military needs and commercial interest, new technologies and innovation emerged, shaping the course of aviation history. Understanding this progression is essential for appreciating the vast array of aircraft that mechanics may encounter throughout their careers. This is a Lycoming R680 engine. It was manufactured in 1941 in the height of World War II. It was used on a Stearman to help Army pilots train. Army pilots that would soon become the United States Air Force. That's almost 100 years of history sitting right here. But in the 70s, we get the JT9 engines. You will work on both of these engines. Now, the innovation that happened in 1941 to the 1970s is shorter than my lifespan. That's the amount of pace and rapidity in which aviation took off from 1903 all the way up into 2024. Given that as being an A&P mechanic, we're supposed to work on anything and everything, we need to have a good snapshot of what was going on in history at one point in time so that way we can know how to approach a problem, that we can put ourselves in the mindset of the designers, the maintainers, and the pilots of its day. The best way to do that is start from the beginning. Early concepts of flight date back to ancient civilizations, where myths and legends often included in tales of human flight. In ancient Greece, the story of Icarus and Daedalus is perhaps the most famous example, cautioning against hubris as Icarus flew too close to the sun with wings made of feather and wax, resulting in his downfall. This story is a cautionary tale that resonates deeply with the history of aviation. According to the myth, Daedalus, a skilled craftsman and inventor, was imprisoned on the island of Crete along with his son Icarus. To escape, Daedalus constructed wings made of feathers and wax for himself and his son. Before they took flight, Daedalus warned Icarus not to fly too close to the sun, as the heat would melt the wax, nor too close to the sea, as the dampness would weigh down the feathers. Filled with the exhilaration of flight, Icarus ignored his father's warnings and soared higher and higher towards the sun. The wax holding his wings together melted, and Icarus fell into the sea and drowned, while Daedalus safely landed on the island of Sicily. The story of Icarus and Daedalus serves a powerful metaphor for the dangers, hubris, and consequences of disregarding wisdom and caution. In the context of aviation heritage, it highlights the importance of respecting the limits of technology and human capability. That while flight is a remarkable achievement, it's not without its risks and challenges. Aviation heritage is built on the lessons learned from past experiences, including tragic events like the story of Icarus. It emphasizes the need for thorough training, meticulous maintenance, and adherence to safety protocols to ensure the safety of both aircraft and crew. By learning from the mistakes of the past, aviation professionals can continue to push the boundaries of flight while maintaining a deep respect for its inherent risk and complexities. The story of Icarus and Daedalus is interesting. It proves that there's an innate human desire to fly, and that's going to drive aviation history hardcore for the rest of time. And it still drives us today, even as we are able to land on other planets and take off and fly at speeds faster than the speed of sound. We still have this desire to go faster, go farther, and go beyond. In the 15th century, the Renaissance was in full bloom, and Leonardo da Vinci stood out as a true visionary. His insatiable curiosity and balanced imagination led him to explore a wide range of disciplines, from art and anatomy to engineering and aerodynamics. Among his many interests, Da Vinci was particularly fascinated by the concept of flight. In his famous notebooks, Da Vinci sketched numerous designs for flying machines, including ornithopters and aerial screws. These designs were incredibly innovative for their time, showcasing Da Vinci's keen observation of birds and flight and his understanding of aerodynamics. The ornithopter, for example, was inspired by the way birds flap their wings to generate lift, while the aerial screw resembled a modern helicopter with its rotating blades. Despite the meticulous detail of his sketches and the depth of his theoretical understanding, Da Vinci's flying machines were never built or tested during his lifetime. The technology and materials of the time were simply not advanced enough to realize his visionary designs. However, Da Vinci's work laid the foundation for future aviation pioneers, inspiring them to explore the possibilities of human flight. Da Vinci's legacy in aviation heritage is profound. His designs may not have taken flight in his time, but they served as a testament to the power of imagination and the importance of pushing the boundaries of knowledge. Today, Da Vinci's flying machines stand as a symbol of human ingenuity and relentless pursuit of innovation in the field of aviation.
Legends like Icarus and Daedalus and thinkers like Da Vinci only prove that flight is something that's enamored humankind for all of history. We're just lucky to live in a time when flight is now possible.
In the late 18th century, a spirit of curiosity and innovation swept across Europe, fueled by the Enlightenment's ideals and the Industrial Revolution's advancements. It was in this era of burgeoning exploration that two brothers from France, Joseph Michel and Jacques Antoine Montgolfier, made history with their groundbreaking invention. In a small town in France, the Montgolfier brothers were captivated by the idea of human flight. Drawing inspiration from the smoke rising from a fire, they theorized that a hot air could lift a lightweight fabric. On June 4th, 1783, in front of a mesmerized crowd, the Montgolfier brothers' balloon ascended into the sky, carrying a basket with living creatures on board. The balloon rose gracefully, reaching an altitude of about 2,000 meters and traveling over 2 kilometers in just 10 minutes. The historic event marked the first successful untethered hot air balloon flight in history, ushering in the age of manned flight. Decades later, in 1852, another milestone in aviation history was achieved by Henry Giffard, a French engineer with a passion for flight. Giffard had long dreamt of creating a flying machine that could be steered and powered. Using a steam engine to propel a dirigible, or an airship, he built a craft that could navigate through the skies. On September 24th, 1852, Giffard's airship took to the skies, propelled by a steam engine and propeller. Unlike previous lighter than air craft, Giffard's dirigible could travel against the wind, marking a significant advancement in the aviation technology. Inspired by these early successes, Count Ferdinand von Zeppelin, a German general, began to develop his own rigid airship in the late 19th century. Using a framework of metal girders, his airship, known as the Zeppelin, was the first successful rigid airship. The Zeppelin airships became synonymous with luxury travel and were used for passenger flights. These early pioneers of aviation paved the way for future advancements in flight, demonstrating the possibilities of aerial travel and inspiring generations of inventors and aviators to reach for the skies.
Every pilot, mechanic, or anyone who's ever looked up at the sky to see an airplane goes overhead owe a debt of gratitude to these early pioneers, these early inventors, these people that rolled the dice and tried something that had never been done before and that all rationality and reason would say is too dangerous to even attempt.
In the late 19th century, aviation was still in its infancy, but progress was being made thanks to the efforts of pioneers like Otto Lilienthal. Lilienthal, a German engineer, became known as the Flying Man for his groundbreaking work in glider design and flight experimentation. Drawing inspiration from birds, Lilienthal studied aerodynamics and developed a series of successful gliders. Lilienthal's gliders were innovative for their time, featuring curved wings that generated lift and a control system that allowed him to shift his weight to steer. Between 1891 and 1896, Lilienthal made over 2,000 flights, often soaring for hundreds of meters at a time. His meticulous record keeping and analysis of his flights contributed significantly to the understanding of aerodynamics and helped pave the way for future aviators. One of the most significant contributions to aviation came from the Wright brothers, Orville and Wilbur, who were inspired by Lilienthal's work. Born in Ohio, the Wright brothers were self-taught engineers who ran a bicycle shop in Dayton. Fascinated by the idea of flight, they began experimenting with gliders in the early 1900s. On December 17, 1903, near Kitty Hawk, North Carolina, the Wright brothers achieved a monumental milestone in aviation history. With Orville at the controls, their aircraft, the Wright Flyer, made the first powered, controlled, sustained flight in a heavier-than-air machine. The flight lasted 12 seconds and covered a distance of 120 feet, marking the dawn of the age of powered flight. The Wright brothers' achievement was a triumph of ingenuity, perseverance, and meticulous research. Their innovative use of a lightweight engine and propellers, coupled with their intuitive understanding of aerodynamics, propelled them into the annals of history as pioneers of powered flight. Their success paved the way for the rapid advancement of aviation technology in the 20th century, forever changing the way we travel and explore the world.
The Wright brothers breathed life into childhood dreams. Kids that used to sit and look up at the birds and wish they could fly, because all of a sudden powered flight was invented and they could. Not long after, World War I and World War II would take flight into whole new levels. This small toy right here was my great uncle's. He died flying P-47s in World War II. He and others just like him would set the groundwork for the next chapter of aviation.
The outbreak of World War I in 1914 brought about rapid advancement in aircraft technology. Nations scrambled to develop military aircraft for reconnaissance and combat, leading to innovations such as machine guns, bombs, and specialized aircraft like fighters and bombers. The war served as a catalyst for the aviation industry, accelerating the development of aircraft design, engines, and aerodynamics. One of the most iconic moments in aviation history occurred in 1927 when Charles Lindbergh completed the first solo non-stop transatlantic flight. Lindbergh, an American aviator, flew from New York to Paris in the Spirit of St. Louis, a custom-built monoplane. His feat captured the world's imagination and demonstrated the potential of aviation for long-distance travel. Lindbergh's flight marked a turning point in aviation history, paving the way for commercial aviation and inspiring a new era of long-distance flight. His achievement solidified the airplane's status as a practical mode of transportation and sparked a wave of enthusiasm for aviation around the world. In the 1930s, the world was captivated by the allure of commercial air travel, an industry that was rapidly expanding its horizons. Airlines such as Pan American Airways emerged as a pioneer, pushing the boundaries of long-distance flight and connecting continents like never before. These airlines introduced luxurious aircraft, impeccable service, and routes that spanned oceans, making air travel not just a mode of transportation, but a symbol of elegance and adventure. The outbreak of World War II in the late 1930s would dramatically alter the trajectory of aviation history. The conflict spurred a frenzied race for technological advancements as nations sought to gain the upper hand in the skies. Aircraft design underwent a revolution, with faster, more agile planes being developed for combat. Radar, a nascent technology, was rapidly refined and integrated into aircraft and ground-based systems, revolutionizing air defense and navigation. Navigation systems also saw significant improvements, enabling pilots to fly with greater precision and accuracy, and even in adverse weather conditions. As World War II unfolded, the skies became a battleground, with aerial combat shaping the course of the war. Aviation technology played a pivotal role in the conflict, influencing strategies and outcomes on both sides. The lessons learned during this tumultuous period would have far-reaching implications for the future of aviation. By the war's end, aviation had been transformed. Commercial air travel had become a global phenomenon, with airlines expanding their routes and fleets to meet the growing demand for air transportation. The advances made during World War II laid the foundation for the modern aviation industry, ushering in a new era of innovation and exploration in the skies.
The Second World War will have a profound effect on aviation, as it'll produce tons and tons and tons of mechanics, pilots, engineers, people that know their way around aviation. Then right behind it will come the Cold War with tons of money and inject it into the creativity of those people, creating all manner of new and exciting aircraft. The Lear 25 behind me is a product of that time. It was designed with a fighter plane in mind, but yet tailored to the corporate business pilot. So that way you could have both fun and business at the same time.
In the mid 20th century, the world witnessed a series of transformative events that would forever change the course of aviation and subsequently space exploration. One of the most significant advancements during this period was the invention of the jet engine, which revolutionized aviation by enabling faster and more efficient aircraft. The jet engine, first developed in the 1930s, represented a paradigm shift in propulsion technology. Unlike traditional piston engines, which powered propeller driven aircraft, jet engines use the principle of jet propulsion to generate thrust, allowing aircraft to fly faster and higher than ever before. This breakthrough paved the way for the development of commercial jetliners, such as the Boeing 707 and the Douglas DC 8, which revolutionized air travel by significantly reducing travel times and increasing passenger comfort. While the jet engine transformed commercial aviation, another monumental event was unfolding in the realm of space exploration. The space race, a fierce competition between the United States and the Soviet Union, was driven by political, military, and ideological tensions. Both nations were determined to demonstrate their technological superiority by achieving significant milestones in space exploration. On April 12, 1961, Soviet cosmonaut Yuri Gagarin made history by becoming the first human to orbit the Earth aboard the spacecraft Vostok 1. His mission, which lasted over just 108 minutes, marked a major milestone in space exploration and was a significant victory for the Soviet Union in the space race. The space race spurred rapid advancements in aerospace technology, leading to the development of some more sophisticated spacecraft, launch vehicles, and communication systems. It also inspired a new generation of scientists, engineers, and astronauts to push the boundaries of human exploration beyond the Earth's atmosphere. Together, the invention of the jet engine and the achievements of the space race transformed our understanding of aviation and space exploration, ushering in a new era of innovation and discovery.
With the space race slowly winding down, all of those engineers and all of that energy had to go somewhere. And so it found its way in commercial aviation, where the game was about to change incredibly. With the wide body aircraft, all of a sudden, poor people from all across the United States could afford to access places like China, Europe, Australia.
In the latter half of the 20th century and into the 21st century, aviation has continued to evolve at a rapid pace, driven by technological advancements and a relentless pursuit of innovation. One of the most significant developments in commercial aviation was introduced by the wide-body aircraft such as the Boeing 747 and the Airbus A380, which revolutionized long-haul air travel. The Boeing 747, also known as the jumbo jet, was first introduced in the late 1960s and quickly became the flagship aircraft for many airlines across the world. Its distinctive humpback design and spacious interior set a new standard for comfort and luxury in air travel. The Airbus A380, introduced in the early 2000s, took this concept even further, featuring two full-length passenger decks and the ability to carry over 800 passengers. These wide-body aircraft not only offered passengers unprecedented levels of comfort and space, but also allowed airlines to operate more efficiently by carrying larger numbers of passengers on long-haul routes. This led to a significant reduction in the cost per seat mile, making long-haul travel more accessible to a wider range of travelers. Advances in materials, avionics, and aerodynamics have also played a crucial role in improving aircraft performance, safety, and efficiency. Lightweight composite materials such as carbon fiber have replaced traditional metal alloys in aircraft construction, reducing the weight and fuel consumption. Avionics systems, including advanced autopilot navigation systems, have improved aircraft safety and reliability. Aerodynamic improvements such as winglets and blended wing designs have further enhanced fuel efficiency and reduced emissions. Looking to the future, commercial spaceflight ventures led by companies like SpaceX and Blue Origin are pushing the boundaries of human space exploration. These companies are developing reusable launch vehicles and spacecraft with the goal of making space travel more affordable and accessible to the public. With each new advancement, the dream of space tourism and the colonization of other planets comes closer to reality, ushering in a new era of human space exploration. Throughout history, aviation has evolved from a dream to a reality, shaping the way people travel, explore, and connect with the world.
It really is a unique time in aviation.
not one that we've seen since the end of World War II. With the advances in space flight, the injection of capital into the market, the renewed interest in supersonic flight and hypersonic vehicles, the sky really is the limit. Or is it?